Okay, this is a quick overview of the Paul Street project. And on the first page of the plans, you'll see um, a drawing of the existing building. Basically, you have rough dimensions, the fact that there's a deck back there, and then the floor system. And I basically described the process of demolition, removing the roof, um, removing the interior, basically gutting the interior, saving the back deck, which would be back here, and removing the block or the concrete stoop, um, and basically stripping it down to its basics. And then I mention and I detail in the specs the the fact that the contractor is to examine and replace any rotted or damaged wood, give, excuse me, giving us the ability to um, remove walls or sections of walls or floor or whatever you need to do to get the thing done. That should be, as long as they approve and the contractor takes pictures as the project progresses. Um, you should be in pretty good shape. The foundation appears to be in good shape. It looks like the house was lifted at one point with a small concrete wall, footing, and then a block wall placed on it. So if there's anything there, it's a decent foundation to build upon. Okay, this would be option one. What I did is I set this up with three different roof styles. This is a gable backside and hip street side, like you had originally wanted. Patio doors. The deck wraps around. Here you can see the bathroom on the floor plan. Very simple. I put a couple closets here, and this will be on all the plans. The bathroom, kitchen. I put some bunk bed or some beds. Basically, I could probably take and no, I won't do it now. I can delete this beds because I know you want to put bunk beds across the back, but these are standard size, so you'd have three built-in beds across this back wall. I would imagine you're gonna stick a couch, maybe a table or something here. But the kitchen has cabinets. Chris told me that you wanted a window here. I ended up putting an upper. We can take this upper out and put a window in there. No big deal. So the kitchen has a little island. Again, a place to eat. I'm just not quite sure exactly what you're going to be using this for, so I didn't know what to put in it. Bathroom's very basic. This is the shower, sink, and then we have a toilet. And on the back, and well, you can see in one of the other floor plans, I had a full height utility cabinet with a little bench for somebody to get dressed, and again, a closet. That pretty much takes care of that. And I'll give you a quick, I'll show you what it looks like a little bit closer. Okay, you can see I put a couple skylights in the front. It's very basic, just a couple windows across the front. I think you should take, and the grade is probably someplace around this top of this concrete, and some type of stonework on that first part would help to break that. The stonework would go on the concrete block, and it would help to break that up. And it's all about grade. You can see this. Now, one thing I will show you is that, oops, these from this point going down this way and over this way are all scissor trusses, but this is a hip roof. With this hip roof, you're gonna be down to an 8-foot ceiling. it would be cost prohibitive to try to design something that would vault right here, and the vault would be so small it would be negligible. For instance, this is an 812 pitch on the outside, and on the inside it would be a 412 pitch. I'll take a quick look in. Okay, if I take my well, first of all, I'll put a camera and I'll shoot this swing. You could kind of see what that ceiling looks like. So you're standing about by the kitchen, and you'd have a little gable here, and then this would be a flat roof. The inside pitch right up here is around a 412. Get a little shot of the kitchen. I've got another walkthrough that you could take a look at. This kind of gives you a look on the inside. It really doesn't show the 8 foot framing here, but you can see the scissor trusses. You're looking straight down. Entry comes in here, and kitchen, bathroom. Pretty basic, but that's what it would look like with your hip roof in front. No windows on this side. Um, Basically, we'll put on the plans that this back deck stays there, but um, I'm sure Chris is going to want to tear that off. I would tear the back deck off. Um, it wouldn't make sense to leave it and try to tie into it. But that's it for option one. We'll be on to the next one's option two, which it will be two gable ends. Gable end on this side, gable end on this side. Okay, this can give you a quick look at option two. You basically have the same floor plan, bathroom, kitchen, and what we have is trusses going all the way across, which gives you the ability to have that vaulted ceiling and open ceiling that you want. And that's going to look something like this. The truss manufacturer obviously will engineer and certify the trusses, but if you look at that horizontal line, that's approximately where the top of the wall would be. And you'll see that you have this whole area right in through here that would be open. The top pitch is an 812, bottom pitch is a 412. If we take a quick look at the floor plan, um, there's nothing special to see. None of the dimensions are changed. Three windows in front. I did have a swing door. That's how I originally designed it. I know you want a patio door, so that's no big deal. This is just to give you an idea of what your options are, and I don't want to detail any one of these specific plans until you pick one out. A little closer look on this west elevation, we'll call it. You can see this is pretty much your grade. Goes something down like this toward the back. Um, Again, I know you want patio doors and you want a specific window style. I wasn't exactly sure. I thought it was a cottage style, but I wasn't sure. These end views are pretty much um, they're pretty much all the same. And this is the front of the house facing the road. Got three windows. You could put a gable vent in here. Again, you're only going to see this part of it. So you're going to see something like this from the street, because this is going to be your ground elevation if you went ahead and covered up that block. So it's going to look something like that. You can do something that's called a Dutch gable, in which this gets pushed further back, and you have more of this section of the roof showing. That's kind of a neat look, but it will add expense to the project because it's more difficult to frame. And again, it won't, because it's such a small building and so narrow. I don't know what the truss manufacturer would be able to do. They would only be able to put their scissor trusses into a certain point, and I'm sure they would probably recommend um, stick building the rest of it, which is fine, but it just adds expense. In a situation like this, all the trusses are made, even the gable truss, and it's plucked down, the guys either drag the trusses across themselves or use a crane to set trusses. They're not big trusses. Back in the day when I was a strong young man, we would just drag these across, but it is safer using the crane for an hour or two to drag and set the trusses. Let's see what else I can show you on this. That's pretty much it. Um, Let me pause the video and I'll show you. If we take a look from the front toward the back, oops, that's not going to work. Okay, inside the room you can see the vaulted ceilings, beds against the wall. Vaulted ceiling goes all the way out to that outside wall. Again, I know that's not the door you want. And we got a closet here and the bathroom. You could either leave those ceilings vaulted in the bathroom, or put them at 8 feet. Let me see if I can get you a shot of the kitchen. This would be a quick look at the kitchen. This cabinet, Chris mentioned take this cabinet out and put a window in there. That's fine. We can do that. Um, Nothing fancy. I just stuck cabinets in. I could see I didn't finish this back cabinet. Um, and again, you can see from the kitchen to the living room. Quick shot of the outside of the house. Um, Again, one window on that back side. The front's dressed up and looks a lot better than it did before. Patio door and window in the back. These footings and posts aren't displaying correctly. Obviously, you wouldn't be seeing all that. So that's that. This kind of gives you an idea how it's framed. Um, in this particular case, it was framed with 8 foot ceilings in the bathroom, and see the bathroom, the kitchen layout a little bit. And again, it's just basically a big open spot, and you can see your trusses, your vaulted trusses all the way through. And in these first couple versions, what I'll show you another one, but I put the stairs as an indent into the existing deck, or not existing, but the new deck, instead of coming out further. On one of them, I came out further. It doesn't look so good. I wouldn't do it. I'd stick with this design. But I think that's about all you need to see. One more thing you might want to look at this option too is the framing. And, and we know that everything is pretty well going to be taken apart and torn down, and this would be the new framing. 2x4 walls, unless you want to go with 2x6 walls. I would suggest we get rid of the beam in the basement and just go with TGIs. I think we might have to go with probably a 14-inch TGI to freeze band that. That gets rid of the need for the beam in the basement. So that is option two. Okay, in option three, we have double gable ends, and on the south end, there's a bump out. I think this is pretty close to 4 feet. If you eliminated the windows or put a narrow window, you get it down to 3 feet. Or just for aesthetics, if you didn't want to put a window on the ends of this bump out, you could um, shrink it down to 2 feet or something and still get the effect. My whole concern was trying to dress up the front of it while not adding on to anything to the building, because we have some issues, I believe, with the property encroaching on the setbacks in the front. So again, layout is all the same. You can see on the layout, I did two things in this version. I stuck the staircase on the outside. I don't like it. I like it back in here, but you may be different and you may like it. Again, I left the old door style. I didn't change that door style yet to your triple or double sliding doors. But I did put a roof over it, and putting a roof over it, we get some added dimension on that one side. Again, what we have is scissor trusses all the way down. This part right here would be framed. This little section would be hand framed, um, and probably have an 8 foot ceiling. I don't know that there's any need to vault that ceiling. I mean, it could be done, not that big of a deal. Uh, but the way to do this is to cantilever the floor joists from back here. Since we're putting in all new floor joists, we're going to cantilever these out to get the floor out there, and get that added space and dimension to the building. So again, it's basically all the same as we've been dealing with. Let's take a look at what the front might look like. Or I should say the west side. Um, Again, you've got this little gable end. I try to do something with the glass dividers in the windows to just to give you an idea what you might be looking at. I don't remember what's in your house, but um, I'm sure we could duplicate that look. And this is the extension. Right now, I have it at around 3 foot 9 or so. Personally, I like this the best. It's easy. It's clean. Um, the east side is just got the one window. No great shakes. And in the front looks pretty cool. Having a little problem with my program. I had to update it, and that's the reason why the delay. And now my computer's not running it right, so I apologize for that. In any case, this is something like the front could look like. Again, your grade is up to this point. Um, that's pretty much what you're going to see from the street side. Got some nice lines, gable lines going in it. You got lots of windows. You can again even put a little vent up there to add a little character. there's really no need to support this roof. This should be able to be a layover on the trusses. However, they might even, if you did decide to go with this, they might even decide to give you the pieces that are needed to get that done. But they will engineer those trusses for a layover. And the back, pretty much same way. You got this back door. I'm assuming that they did drop this footing down. We didn't dig or look, um, but you would want to make sure that this is down below frost line. Otherwise, that could be that's gonna move around a little bit on you with the frost. So that's what we have. Let's see. That's pretty much what we have. There's no sense in showing. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. Um, Let me take a camera. This is what it would look like on the inside with an 8-foot ceiling. This is vaulted. Again, I think it gives it some nice character and some definition. Um, a little different view of your kitchen. I threw the island in there. You'd probably want to extend the overhang. It's just a base cabinet with a 12-inch attached to the back side. Um, you could just go with one base cabinet and extensions on both sides. Put some stools around it. Oops. But that's that. I'll take a look on the outside and give you that perspective view. Just looking from the street. From the top. I This is, in my opinion, the cleanest design, and it also gives you um, there's not a lot of complicated construction. Few details in here, but everything should be a fairly simple process. Uh, Toughest thing is going to be to basically, once you start demoing the building, the roof comes off, then you see how bad the walls are. The walls come off, and then undoubtedly the floor is going to be one big mess. So um, taking this thing down to the concrete is probably the best possible. You'll get the best job. You'll get the best job, and there'll be actually less time spent on trying to patch and fix and match and place, and then you don't have the problem with mold and all the other water damage associated problems. So this gets my vote, but I'm not the boss. So this will give you some idea, and if you want to make changes to any of these different options, you can let me or Chris know, and we can change things around. Um, Remember those beds that are inside our two scale. You can actually take one of those and cut it out. Um, we can actually build those built-in bunks for you. There's a couple different plans depending on um, how fancy you want to get and how inviting you want to get and what size you want to get. They can be simple, or we could make it a classic piece of furniture. So, um, that's something to talk with Chris about. And the rest of the living room, or the rest of this area over here, I assume people are going to come here, go to sleep, um, eat, and maybe if they're coming out for a couple days, they'll just have a place to get away and rest. So, a table, couch. Um, I don't know if you'd put a TV. Like I said, I'm not really sure. If you're bringing your church groups in, you're gonna want. Obviously, you're not gonna want to have a bunch of beds for the young kids to have a little party house. So there would have to be um, something done to be able to monitor a situation and to control it. But again, I'm probably overstepping my bounds. Um, but it's exciting to see you do the things that you're doing with your church and that you want to do with the property and the properties around here. I hope these things prove fruitful between you and the Lord, and that a lot of things get done. It's really cool. Never thought I'd saw somebody on my street be doing what you're doing. So God bless you guys. That's it for now. I'll wait. I uh, I know Chris wants to get rocking on this thing, so I could give him a set of plans that basically shows one simple shape. Actually, you know what? We need to decide on one of the designs so he can take so I can detail that to some degree, and we can get some very firm dimensions and get those to the trust company, so those get started at the same time. Well, we need something to get down to the county and make sure that they're going to let you do everything you want to do. There's room enough on your survey that I see no reason why you can't do that. Even this little bump out shouldn't be a problem, but if they do give us a problem, we can always change the terms, and it's not a bump out. We'll just call it a boxed window, and that should easily be something that would. I've done that plenty of times. If you can't do a bump out or a small addition, what you end up doing is putting a box window out, and it just so happens that the floor on the box windows matches the floor of the um, main structure. So I hope this was enlightening, and again, I'm sorry for taking the time that it's taken, but I haven't been feeling well. Had to get a new program. My computer's puking. I need a new computer. The video cards don't work, and the thing's just old. But I'm working through it, and we're getting some good stuff done. And with this diagnosis that they gave me, and medicine and treatment that I'm getting, I might have a resurrection of myself and be able to start doing more of this kind of stuff. I enjoy it. So give Chris a call. Let him know what you think.